Hello, my name is Opal Singleton. I am the president and CEO of Million Kids. This is the Protect and Prevent podcast. An organization is dedicated to keeping kids safe from predators, whether it's online exploitation, whether it's sex trafficking, whether it's financial sextortion, whatever it is. The reason our organization exists is because we do whatever we can to keep our kids safe. And that includes a lot of research, okay? There are 8 of us across the United States. We're all professionals, and we read all the articles every day about things like artificial intelligence and financial sextortion. We're looking for answers. We're looking for answers on how to keep our kids safe. And I want to have a very important discussion with you today. And that is to have a discussion with your young people about the power of choice. And I don't say this lightly, okay? This isn't like just another podcast. I'm really reaching into my soul to share this with you. Because one of the things that we have all come to understand is as we look at all of these online crimes like Group 764, which is a terrorist group that goes after our kids. We look for things like kids that are sending nudes online. 1 out of 6 boys and 1 out of 7 girls now have sent a nude online in the United States. That has to change, and change quickly. And as we began to understand the power of AI, and we're not against technology, in fact, quite to the contrary, our organization believes that we have to get this generation prepared to live in probably one of the scariest worlds of all history, but also one of the most exciting and one of the great opportunities in all of history. For those of you that don't follow me and kids normally, I have a book out called Digital Warfare, Our Kids on the Front Line. That book is all about the idea that literally the entire world has come together in the last 3 to 4 years. It has never happened before. So when you hand your child that device for the first time and you tell them to be careful on it now, okay, you're actually putting them in a universe of 5 billion people. And some of them are good people, and some of them are not so good. Some of them are organized crime and terrorists and groups that would really like to devastate your child and get money out of your child. So how do we prepare our kids to go online in that environment? Well, I think this is an important discussion for you to have with your young person. And that is, when I hand you this phone for the first time, I think it needs to be with a very deep and serious discussion. It is not a light decision. I think it should go something like, I believe in you, or I wouldn't be doing this. I trust you to make good choices, or I wouldn't be doing this. Because your ability to get in trouble, not just you, but any young person around the world, and by the way, some old people too, this romance scams are $105 billion business in the United States. So I believe in you and I trust you. That is why we are going to allow you to have a phone. But we want to be able to talk about it, because I am giving you the most powerful device on earth, and I am trusting you to make good choices. The choices you make while using that device, I won't be with you. I'm trusting you to make good decisions. The choices you're making can change your life. It can change it for good. It can give you tremendous opportunities. It can give you access to more information. You know, with artificial intelligence, you can learn to do a lot of things that people in generations before you never had the opportunity to learn. And so it has many, many good things, and it can change your life for good. However, if you make poor choices, it can bring you and your entire family, as far as that goes, a lot of heartache and pain. And never one of us, no one in this family would ever want you to experience that heartache and pain. So we are hoping that you will make good choices. The choices you make will determine your future. And it's really that simple. So this is not a small matter that I'm trusting you. I'm doing it because I know you and I think you have good judgment. But I also want you to realize that you are starting on a journey of a digital reputation. And the decisions you make every day will form others' perception of you for literally years and years to come because it is being documented online forever. Now, you're going to make mistakes. I'm not here to suggest you don't make mistakes. But when you do make mistakes, I hope you'll own up to them and come to us and share. And I'll try to be realistic with you about those mistakes. And we will find ways that we can all learn from it. But if it's a costly mistake, I will also stand beside you and help you resolve it. Because some of the mistakes online are extremely costly. So you're going online with my support because I believe in you. So you choose your digital reputation. Before you go too far on it, I would like you and I to sit down and do a couple of exercises together. The first one is that as a family, I would like for all of us to go online and Google ourselves. And not just Google. I want to learn everything I can learn about us online. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But I want to look up my profile on LinkedIn, what it says about me. I want to look up our address. What's it say about our house? What's it say about you or your older brothers and sisters or younger? What does it say about anything related to you? Have you received awards that's online and like that? Why do I say that? Because almost every one of us, when we get a friend request, we say to ourselves, well, I'm only going to talk to people I know or who know me, and I'm only going to talk to a friend of a friend. Well, the truth is now with artificial intelligence, now that you're going online, anybody can look like they know you because of this kind of idea of a profile using AI. So I'd like to build our profile before you ever go online so that you already know that if somebody new comes on and says, well, I kind of already know you, that you will know that they probably have picked it up from what is known online. And also for you to understand that if you start sending nudes or doing crazy stuff out there, that is going to be part of your profile for a long, long time. So let's do that one together. Now, the second one I would like to do with you before you really get involved in online is I want you to sit down and share with us in writing how you see yourself and what your goals are in life. In other words, do you see yourself as an honest person that likes to do what's right? Do you see yourself as someone who really wants to learn and be an achiever? Do you have a strong identity of yourself? Do you feel good about yourself? This is very, very important. I think you feel good about yourself, or I wouldn't be putting you online. But if you feel bad about yourself, you're going to be easily seduced by somebody who's going to try to get you to take a shortcut, make some quick money, have a quick, salacious experience online that nobody will know about, or get you to send a nude while they send a nude. We need you to sit down and say, okay, before I go online, I'm going to have a strong understanding of who I am and what my values are. Mom and Dad, the reason I'm saying that is with artificial intelligence, even in character AI, in Roblox, in your Discord, there are millions of pedophiles out there looking to seduce our kid. And they will look like a new best friend. And they will say, this is our little secret, don't tell. You can do this once, it won't hurt. And it is those kinds of things that literally changes a child's life. So it's important that a child know who they are and what they stand for, because with artificial intelligence, they're going to be fed a lot of information that is not true. And they are going to be reached by millions of people that want to change their life, not necessarily for the good. So you really need to prepare your child before they go online. Now, if they're already online, it's not too late to back up and say, let's take a look. When I put you online, I didn't understand all this, but now I see it differently. So I want you to write out for me what is important to you in a digital reputation. What do you want other people to think of you when they see what you post online? Is it healthy? Does it support the good? Does it empower others? Or is it illicit and something that can be used to bring you down? Because remember now, this is the World Wide Web, and it is out there forever. I want you to learn to question what others are saying online. Let's talk about it. Does it seem to be good? Does it seem to be true? What is the motivation of the people that are saying it? What are their credentials? Or has it just been repeated and repeated as something that's kind of flamboyant, but not necessarily true? So all of this is going to be very, very important as we put our kids online, because with animation, with artificial intelligence, with deep fakes, any and every one of us can have our images changed. They can blackmail us. They can kind of blackball us with other people that are out there. So we need to know before you go online, do you have digital empathy? When you see somebody else being blackmailed and bullied, do you feel bad, or do you look at it and pass it on? If somebody sends you a nude, are you going to share it? If somebody asks for your nude, are you going to send it? What if somebody you know is being bullied? Are you going to go along with that? Or are you going to have some digital empathy, understanding that you might be next? You see, now that you're online with 5.5 billion other people, there is a world full of organized crime that is looking to reach you. They use things like Discord. They use all kinds of dating sites and hookup sites. They use chat rooms in your gaming sites. And they use a lot of animation and deep fakes. So I am putting you in a situation that has never happened before. And you're going to make mistakes. That doesn't mean I don't love you. Okay. But what I want you to do is be a leader, because you're the first of others. And I want you to be a leader for the next generation. This is becoming a very complex world. None of us have ever experienced it before. So we make mistakes on it, and you will too. But I believe in you. I trust you. I would appreciate it if you would sit down and write out your values before you ever do it. Because I need to know you're going to make decisions that I'm not involved in. You're going to make split-second decisions. Somebody's going to come to you, and they're going to look hot and sexy. And they start sending something that's really cool. And you say, man, this is my kind of deal. Stop and think, who is this? Because if I return that, they're going to compromise me, and not just compromise me for now, but for as long as it's online. And if I decide to return something, I'll never, ever be able to get it back. So think twice before someone makes an offer. They will look like someone who knows you, and they will also know your friends. Unless all your friends' lists on Instagram and TikTok are on private, anybody can appear to be a friend of a friend. And since you are new at this and you're just going online, I want you to think out how easy it is for you to be contacted by someone that seems like they know you and want to have a little fun. And we all like a little fun, okay? Except illicit fun online can change your life forever. It can make the difference of whether you get in a university, because it won't go away once you send it. It can make a difference in whether you get in the military, or maybe you get a particular job, or maybe you meet a hot young lady that you think you might want to marry someday, and her parents Google you and find those old images. You see, you're the first generation that can reach the entire world, but you're also the first generation that will go online with over 5 billion people, and whatever you put on there doesn't go away. And with artificial intelligence, it is not hard to find it. So we're not just dealing with Google anymore. We're dealing with people who want to get a hold of an image and change it. So I'm asking you to look at your thought process before you go online. You see, one of the things that I have learned over time is what you think will determine who you are. And it will also determine the decisions you make in those hot and heavy moments when maybe your good decision processes are not what they should be. And we have all been there. On the spur of the moment, you say, oh, I'm going to take a chance. Except if you do that online, it can change your life. So I'm going to ask you before you go online, sit down and write out for me who you are and what you stand for. How you see yourself. This is very important. I want you to think about what you say to yourself, because I have never really said this to you before, but what you say to yourself are the most important words you say all day. It's that simple. If you wake up and you haven't studied and you're about to take a test and you're not ready and you're saying, okay, I'll borrow somebody's paper and I'll cheat and it'll be okay, I won't get caught, that will determine that you are the person that when the chips are down will take a shortcut and cheat, hoping you don't get caught. You might get away with it once or twice, but it will define your character. What you think of yourself will determine what you grow up to be, what kind of character you have, what kind of moral values you have, what people think of you, and how you decide to make decisions when the chip's down. So how you think about yourself is really, really important. And it's really important before you go online. Because if you make a mistake and somebody starts pounding on you, they want money to get that photo back. Even if you haven't sent a nude, they can send one that looks like you. And they will start to tell you you're damaged goods, you're ruined, you can't come back. I need you to know right now, there is no such thing as damaged goods. I hope that from this day forward, you won't even consider sending a nude online or even something that can be modified, because all of us are so vulnerable. But if you do, don't listen to them. They will tell you you're ruined. They want money. Do not pay them. Never, ever pay a blackmailer online. You do not have enough money to stop them. And there are groups all over the world that literally they'll look like a hot young girl or a hot young guy. And the minute they get something they can work with, it doesn't have to be much, they will start to blackmail you and they want money. If you find yourself in that place, do not panic. Don't do anything stupid. Don't run and hide. Come to me and we will work through it together. I give you my word. I will do my very best to remain calm and we will get help together. Don't do anything crazy. I need to know how you think about these things before you go online. It is the positive. It is the belief in self. It is the setting of goals. It is about knowing yourself well and also knowing yourself and your family online. So people cannot take advantage of you. I'm looking for you to be a leader at the most important generation that has ever lived. And I want you to be a leader to your younger brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and cousins, because you're that first generation. And I'm telling you that it is time for you to decide. I'm putting you online. You're now having adult decision processes. And I'm going to ask you to define what that is so that when you get in a moment of panic or resistance and you want to start making a decision that might cost you, You will have the strength of character, first of all, not do it. And second of all, to come to someone and ask for help. So you get to decide, I'm trusting you. I believe in you. You decide, I believe you're going to stand for good. I know that you're going to set goals, and I hope you share those goals with me. I'd like to talk with you about them. And your goals will change over time. You'll decide you want to do this, or maybe you decide you want to do that. Maybe you want to get in shape. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to get a straight A so that you can get a scholarship. Maybe you want to be some sort of sports star. Whatever your dreams and goals are, I believe in you. I'm here for you, and I will support you through them. And the way you will be most successful is to write them down and even share them if you decide. So I know you're going to stand for good. I'm going to know that you're going to set goals and that you're going to believe in yourself. I want you to look at what you say to yourself and others each day. And I want you to know that that's something that you can learn to change and really grow that way. We're not all born, positive thinkers. Most of us were never positive thinkers, and we always immediately look at the bad first. And we feel like we're out of control and somebody's, stolen our glory here. There's all of those kinds of things. But the way that you change that is you change your self talk. And what you say to yourself, you start to say, I don't feel good today. I'm kind of depressed. I'm not going to do good at school. I'm going to blow that test. Stop. That is negative. You're never going to succeed when you tell yourself that. You can change that dialogue. You can say, well, I should have studied more. And next time I will. But this time I'm going to give it my best shot. And I'm going to school because it is the right thing to do. And you can change what you say to yourself. And it will change yourself into becoming a leader, to becoming a strong moral person. And a person that when the chips are down and you're in a panic, you will make the right decisions. Today, this is all so important because as a parent, I will certainly monitor your activity. It's what I'm required to do as a parent. I need to know you're not yet an adult, and I am responsible for you. However, I gave this to you because I believe in you and I trust you. And I'm hoping that you will forgive me for being an old codger that knows less about technology than you do, okay? And that you will educate me along with it. And you will share with me so that we can both grow together. I'm trusting you because I know you're going to do the right thing, even if I am not watching you. But I'm asking you, if you find yourself in trouble, I hope that you will come to me, whether it's a deep fake, whether you've done something that maybe you shouldn't do, maybe you've been lured in by something, or if you're just questioning something. We're all going to learn this together. People all over the world are being blackmailed, they're being extorted, grandparents are being extorted, kids are being extorted. It is the way it is because now the entire world is connected by internet. Actually, only about 70% of the world is now online. And as the new countries come online, the level of abuse will be even greater. Because what is happening is people that are in poor countries can now reach all of our kids. And our kids have access to money. They were the first with Bitcoin. They know how to send money. And they sat in a poor country saying, they have money and I want it. And they will try to find ways to bring you down. But you won't realize it's them because they're going to look like something you really like. That's how it works. So pay attention. Before you go online, I want you to define for me who you are, what you stand for. And when you get in the heat of the moment, I want you to remember that. Wait a minute. They're asking me to do something that isn't consistent with my values. It might be okay. I might get away with it, but I can't afford to take that chance. I want to be successful in my life. I want to be a person with integrity, and I value my digital reputation. So this is all a crazy time in the world. Putting our kids online as parents can be some of the scariest things of all. Of course, you want to monitor and check, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend that prepubescent children are not online. Okay. I say that just because they don't have the maturity to make the kind of discussion that you just had with me with your child. Also, they won't recognize when they're in trouble because they don't know what adult sexuality is all about and how to recognize when it's being used and abused. And so they can't protect themselves. That doesn't make them bad kids or good kids. They just don't have the maturity of judgment to make those kinds of decisions. There are phones out there like Bark that you can put a child on that can communicate without giving them all that access. But anytime you have a young person online, I'm going to ask you, mom and dad, to monitor it and watch out. But have this discussion first. I often suggest that you get a contract between your child, even if they're already online. The first thing is every app they have, you're going to have. And mom and dad, if you don't know how to use those apps, it's not going to do you any good to have them because they know you don't know how to use them. Get somebody to teach you how to use them. Number two, that your child will never willingly or knowingly do something that will cause them embarrassment or pain to their entire family. Never knowingly. That's number two. Number three, no matter what, they will never, ever, ever go out and meet someone online that they've been talking to. That will always end poorly. And number four, if they find themselves in trouble or they're just afraid that it might be, they will come to you and talk it out. And you will, in turn, give them your word that you will do your very best to remain calm, cool, and collected and be there for them and help them to learn as we all learn through this. My name is Opal Singleton. I am the president of an organization called millionkids.org. I hope you will go to millionkids.org and sign up for our newsletter. It is one of the most important newsletters you can ever get. It is free, and it will tell you weekly the different ways that predators take advantage of our kids. And it's very important. I also have a book out called Digital Warfare, Our Kids on the Front Line. You can get it at Amazon. You can have a Kindle at Amazon, or you can just go to millionkids.org, not .com, .org, okay, and get the voice version of it for $5. If you want to write to me, you can at Opal, OPAL, at millionkids.org. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time on the Protect and Prevent podcast.